Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Road to Radical Visibility. My name is Rachel Freemon Sowers, your host, also known as the Breakthrough Bitch, because I am passionate about helping people in the LGBTQ+, neurodiverse, and female communities break through those things that are stopping them from becoming more bold in the expression of themselves, their mission, and their truth in business and in life. And I don't know if you can tell from my voice right now, but I am a little ramped up. I can't really. Okay, so this episode is going to be raw. It is going to be real. I am going to get emotional. So stay tuned for that. It's not like if you listen to this, it's a surprise. However, that's just going to show you how impactful becoming radically visible can be. My guest today, I met through my sister-in-law. So thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Because I had been actually searching for a program. I don't even know if you know this, Simone, but I've been in the exercise realm for a really long time. I've been a fitness instructor for like a boot camp. I've taught spin classes. Our family has always been highly into exercise and moving our bodies. And over the last few years, things kind of got stuck and stagnant. And I was really looking for a program because I knew my body loves clean eating. I knew that my body would respond, even though in perimenopause, which is no freaking joke, like, I'm not joking, like all these things are happening. I've had 2 total hip replacements. There's just so many things that are going on, and I had lost my way. And so I was searching and searching, and I didn't want to do anything else but clean eating, but I needed to find something that could fit for me and also that could fit for my wife. So my sister-in-law told us about this program that was created by my guest today. And it was really the jumpstart to help me get to where I am today. And it's going to, oh my gosh, it makes me emotional, but help me get through, this age where I don't honor my dad. So I'm not going to cry anymore. I'm going to stop crying for right now, but I want to introduce her to you without any further ado. So I'm just going to look over here and make sure I get all of the introduction right. So Simone is a mama, food coach, and mentor. She has been a health coach for over 20 years. Simone helps keep mamas informed and healthy and transform from the inside out and become the best version of themselves by giving them the tools and roadmap to achieve optimum health and fat loss. See, now you know why she's on here. She teaches her clients how to eat the right food at the right time for the right reasons and empowers them to make daily changes towards leading a healthier lifestyle. Here's what Simone says. My mission is to not only empower you to fuel your body, but also fuel your mind and soul. I'm here to help you burn fat, increase energy and confidence so that you can fall back in love with you and your life. I can't wait to help you achieve every single one of your goals. And I just have to say, please help me welcome Simone here to the show because she is helping me achieve my goals too. So welcome.
Oh my God. I'm emotional now.
Oh, just wait. There's more to come. Don't worry.
We haven't even started yet. It is such an honor to be here. Rachel, thank you so much for having me here. And I'm just excited because you and I connect in such an amazing way. I love your energy. I love everything about. I'm addicted to your podcast, and you and everything that you represent because you're making a massive impact. So thank you.
Oh, well, I feel like I'm so appreciative for this life that we get to live. And I know that you feel the same way. And the way that we trust ourselves to connect in ways, and how I asked Trisha, I was like, hey, what are you doing? And how Trisha shared with us what she was doing. And that, that's not really always common in a family system to share what you're doing because of whatever reason, but she shared with us and I was like, I'm doing it. And so I snuck in under that last timeline because I was like, I got to do it right now. And oh my gosh, it is exactly the thing that I needed. But before we dive into that piece, because today you will hear about the work I've been able to do with Simone, and we'll hear about my story with that and some history. This will probably be one of the most vulnerable shows and podcasts that I've done yet. And that says a lot. But yet, before we dive in back, can you just tell me what radical visibility means to you?
Well, I knew you were going to ask me this question. So I actually put a lot of thought into it. I took about 4 or 5 days to think about it. And at first I wanted to answer it in a way that would apply to you. And then I thought, I don't think that's what you want. I think you want to hear what I think.
Yes.
And so to me, radical visibility is making the choice every day to show up for something that is bigger than you. And I started to think about my own experience and my experience with my business in particular. There have been days over the past few years that I have not wanted to show up. I went through a divorce. My mother died of brain cancer. There were days where I just wanted to curl back up in bed and not get up, not get dressed, and certainly not put a smile on my face and lead a community with positivity. And I forced myself to do it. I forced myself to do it because I knew I had a moral obligation to serve and that these people depended on me. And in the end, looking back, it was actually my community that healed me because those days were so dark. They helped me take the focus off of my own problems and my own pain and allowed me to help them and do something bigger than me. And I'm so grateful every day. I feel grateful for the community that I've created and the community that helps me back every single day.
Yeah, there's not enough that can say about community. You know, I didn't mention this in the beginning, but today, at that episode release of this is my 50th birthday. And I wouldn't have been able to make it feeling the way that I feel now and being the person that I am without community. And, you know, definitely you and your community has definitely been a part of that. But it's really stepping up into our own lives and actually being that leader. You know, being a leader doesn't mean you're always like cheerleading and you're always happy and positive. But what it means is that you're committed to you. You know, you say it often, and I wonder how in your journey, what has been your, like, the commitment that you've made to yourself? I mean, you keep showing up in radical visibility, you keep going, you push through, but what is the ultimate commitment you've made to yourself?
The ultimate commitment is to love myself. You know, I teach people to do this every day, you know, and I love myself through the food that I put in my body and the way I move my body. And I'll always say food healed me, especially through those darkest times of my life. And then my fitness strengthened me. And I'm such a believer in that. And I feel like, you know, with all the stuff that's been going on over the past few years now, we need to be healed and we need to be strengthened. And I'm such an advocate of nourishing your body properly, because this truly does heal you and change your life. And then the way that you move your body will strengthen you in a way that gives you another layer of resilience where you can just head into anything and be tough through it.
You know, that's something that I'm also passionate about, is like loving yourself, but knowing yourself so much that any external circumstance or stimulant that comes up outside of you, it doesn't necessarily derail you. But what is saying is like, I'm interacting in the world in this way. I am saying this is who I am being in regards to my own health, right? And in my PhD education, it's about like nourishing, how certain foods also can be really nourishing. And like, well, you know, one of my favorite things is the curries and stuff like that. That's just yummy and luscious. And it's not to necessarily brag about the food, but how each thing that we are doing for ourselves is either empowering us, or it helps us stay the same, or we just feel stuck, right? We just feel like we're constantly going back and back and back, and we make it's that saying, like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. Like, I want to debunk that whole thing. You don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And committing to yourself is part of this process, but also trusting yourself. So how did you develop this group, this program, this Fuel for Fat Loss? That's the original program I started, the 8-week one. So tell us how you got to this point.
Well, this program came out of personal pain and personal struggle. So I developed it 4.5 years ago. Up until that point, I was a trainer, I was a coach in a gym, and I just had my daughter. Through pregnancy, I gained 65 pounds. And after she came, I continued to gain weight. But on top of that, my entire life was spiraling out of control. I was addicted to food. I was addicted to alcohol. I was using it to numb. I was using it to cope. I was struggling with depression, anxiety. My relationships were a mess. My health was deteriorating in every single way. And I remember just feeling like a failure in every single way, you know, and telling myself that too. I was really hard on myself. I'm a perfectionist, a recovering perfectionist. And it's funny because our motto in Fuel for Fat Loss is progress, not perfection. But at this time, I felt like I was a failure. And I was telling my clients what to do. I was telling them how to eat. I was telling them how to work out, but I couldn't do the same for myself. And I remember when everything changed. And I actually haven't shared this story before.
First time.
So this is really special. But everything changed when my daughter was about 18 months old. And we were coming into the summer months. So I think it was around this time of year. And I went to my closet and I was about to pick out my usual winter outfit, which was stretchy black leggings and an oversized black sweater. And this was my usual outfit because it covered me up. I was, 65 pounds heavier, which by the way, for me is like another half of a person. And I just wanted to cover up, but it was coming into the summer months and I started to look at my dresses and my tank tops and I began to cry. And I began to cry because I just realized that I couldn't fit in any of my cute clothes. Now, this might sound really superficial, but it was so much more than this. I realized I was miserable. I was miserable in every facet of my life. I didn't look my best. I didn't feel my best. I also had zero energy. I also was sleeping terribly. I was out of control with my food. I was addicted to sweets and chocolate, and there was stress eating. There was so much that was out of control. It wasn't just about not fitting in my clothes, but that was that realization that got to me. And I didn't feel like me anymore. At the end of the day, I didn't feel like me anymore. I didn't even recognize this person when I looked in the mirror. I remember looking in the mirror. I didn't even recognize that person looking back at me. And that's when I decided to change and ultimately get in control of my life, my food, my health, and also be a better role model to my daughter, because actually she was the biggest motivator, because here, 18 months old, they're watching you. Like, I started to notice she's watching me, she's copying me. And like, I'm like, okay, I do not want her to copy any of this.
That, wow. Like, it just hits me like right here in my chest and in my heart. Cause I know that there are so many other people that are listening or watching this show that have experienced the same thing about not recognizing themselves anymore. And you wonder what the heck happened. And although you know what's happened, often looking back, it can feel really bad to be like, oh my gosh, how could I have allowed myself? How could I have done that? Well, I want to tell you right now that if you are beating yourself up for that, it probably really isn't you. And you can hear more about that on other parts of the show. Excuse me. But, these are the first symptoms that show up. And unless we listen, we stay there in those symptoms. And, what you're talking about, Simone, is really, truly listening and saying, I am going to now beginning to put myself first. And if you've been someone who has been trained, that's listening, that taking yourself first is selfish. I want to tell you, it's the most selfless thing that you can do, because once you care for yourself, you now can care for others. I mean, I'm sure you found out that way in your community. I mean, those people really carried you. And yet now, I mean, the way you show up, the way your community supports, the way your coaches support is not, and I've been around the block in lots of things in the online world and in lots of Facebook groups, but it's not one that's been like this. I can tell you that. The support that they offer, the encouragement, I mean, I post some real stuff and I hold back because, it's not always appropriate.
Don't hold back. We can handle it.
Well, my mouth gets going sometimes, but, I just want to be really respectful, but really in all the things I haven't always, I say what's going on with me, and it's literally a different, like the community that you've created is different. That's all I can
That
say.
means a lot to me. I actually didn't know that you felt that way. And that means a lot to me. And I feel that the same way too. Again, this is a community that carries me. And, it wasn't, like you talk about when you love yourself, like it being the most selfless thing that you could do. It truly, for me, it was, because as soon as I did that, I was able to make a way bigger impact and help to empower others in a completely different way. But if I didn't do the work on myself, I was still a trainer. I was still a coach. I was still a nutritionist. I was all the things. I had all the credentials. But if I didn't get out of that personal mess and struggle, I would have never been able to create what we have now.
Well, and I'm very much walk my talk kind of person. The skills and tools I teach my clients are the ones that I have tried, and the ones that have been successful, and the ones that work. And it's through this internal reflection, through this internal growth, that you then connect with other people better. If you're someone that's watching or listening and you feel really disconnected, the answer is to connect with yourself first. And there's been a lot of times too, if we're just talking about body shaming and all of those things, I've never been small. I mean, like I've just maybe like when I was a toddler, but like I've never been small. And even when I was at the height of my fitness, and it was about 38, 39, 40, right before I had my first hip replacement. And I was teaching this group power class, and it's interval weightlifting. And there was like 20, 30 people in my classes. Like we were really getting it. But this guy comes up and he says to me, and he was a participant, and he's like, "Oh, so where's the small girl today?"
Wow.
And like, I'm muscly, like, and I thought to myself in that moment, I'm like, I'm not letting that take hold of me ever again. Because, as a child, severely bullied through so many years of school and high school and never fitting in and all of those things. And then being LGBTQ on top of that, and then having all the things that go with that. But it's like at some point, you realize that none of those things need to have an impact on how you feel about yourself, but we're taught all of those things. And again, that's a huge thing that people don't even realize about me. Like we have no idea what each one of us has been through. And I've never, told that story. And, this happened also in Christian school, and where you're supposed to be kind to one another and all of those things. So, the world, the things that we're taught and how to think and feel about ourselves, they don't have to plague us our whole entire lives. And I feel like that's the work that you and I do the most with the people that we work with. We say, you don't have to suffer anymore. You don't have to be plagued. You can see this picture. So you'll see the picture in the episode. You'll see the picture maybe on the YouTube thumbnail. That's probably what attracted you to this. But like, I'm going to show this picture of this huge transformation because I decided to choose myself again. And we choose again and again and again.
And you know what I love about your story and your transformation, and I've seen you transform, I've been watching you, but it's so much bigger than a weight loss goal.
Yeah.
and if there's, one thing I could leave you with today, a message that I feel is really important is don't make fat loss your number one goal. Make it about loving yourself first, self-care, knowing that you're worth it, your health. For me, it was, I wanted to get my health on track, and the fat loss will happen naturally, and you will transform in so many other ways that is so much bigger and healthier. And then when you get down to that healthy goal weight, and by the way, there is nothing wrong with wanting to achieve a healthy weight and wanting to look and feel your best, because there's a lot of shaming about that right now. The diet culture is all about shaming you for wanting to look and feel your best. And I'm not about diet culture for sure. However,
she's not, for real.
No, it's not about depriving yourself. It's not about dieting. It's not about struggle. But there is certainly nothing wrong with wanting to look and feel your best, because when you look and feel your best, you can impact every part of your life. You can change every part of your life. You can be a better mama. You can be a better wife, a better husband, a better daughter, a better sister, a better friend, a better citizen in society, because you love yourself, you love life, you are loving and doing everything you're supposed to. You have a different purpose. Looking and feeling your best, I truly feel is an amazing goal. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I feel like it's the same. It's very much similar. The motto is 100% yourself, 100% of the time, no shame or guilt needed.
No, I love that.
Like, that's my business motto. This is why I do, because the shame and the guilt that we've been taught to do to ourselves has now become the normal, and it needs to become the non-normal. And if you have found yourself struggling in different ways, especially with health, we're going to talk a little bit about the Fuel for Fat Loss program, because as many of you know, I don't talk about things that I don't totally believe in or get behind. That's not something I do. And I'm totally behind this, not because I want to make all this extra money or whatever, but 100% myself, 100% of the time includes me feeling good about my body, includes me feeling my muscles ache after freaking leg day or 50 miles on the bike, or not even literally when Simone's in the workout and she's like, oh, are you feeling it yet? And she's like halfway through the third rep and I'm like feeling it and like halfway through the first rep. I love you so much, but I shout your name in such
Oh, that's a compliment. I love that. You can swear at me during the workouts. I can take it. I've heard it all before.
I'm like,
yeah, it actually means more to me coming from like a fitness trainer as well. Like,
yeah, so let's talk a little bit. I started now my brain's moving faster than my mouth. I know there's some things coming up, so I want to make sure to talk about those.
Yeah.
But let's start first in the Fuel for Fat Loss. I did the Fuel for Fat Loss 8-week program. Tell us a little bit about that, or tell the listeners a little bit about that, and then what's coming up.
Yeah. Well, our 8-week program, we call it the Total Body Transformation Challenge. And we have something brand new coming up that is really exciting right now. I think I need to actually start with that, because
start with that then.
Okay. Yeah.
Whatever makes the most sense.
It'll make more sense. Yeah. This is the time of year. It's spring. And this is the time of year where you really want to cleanse and detox the body. We should actually cleanse and detox 4 times a year, but spring is the ultimate time to do it, especially with all the environment changes happening outside. So we are going to be doing a 13-day detox challenge. And the problem that I see right now, the reason why I wanted to do this is because I see so many people going about doing a cleanse the wrong way. Right now, if you turn on social media, you're seeing some kind of tea being advertised, some type of starvation diet, drinking grapefruit juice for 20 days and losing weight. I mean, there's just so many gimmicks and false advertising out there, and things that are actually going to wreak havoc on your body. And you may, if fat loss is your goal, you may lose a little bit of weight, but I'm telling you right now, most times you're going to put all of that weight back on through these types of cleanses. And trust me, I've dabbled in them.
Mm-hmm.
I've dabbled in them and I've never been more sick in my life.
Me too.
Yeah. Right. Like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you've been around the block.
Yeah.
I love hearing that. So the way that we cleanse and detox the body is through real food, healing the body through food. How cool is that? It doesn't, first of all, it doesn't cost you more money.
Nope.
You should never be buying these products that are expensive and can actually hurt your body. You can heal your body, cleanse your liver, cleanse your gut through food, whole natural food. And that's what we're all about in our community, which gets me really excited because you can do amazing things for your body through the food that we have.
Yes.
So we're going to be using specific food and detox enhancers, things like lemon, greens, specific types of greens that will purify the blood, cleanse the liver. If fat loss is your goal, then the liver cleanse is really the best place to start. And that's what we do for 3 days as part of this 13-day gut detox. The reason why you want to target the liver is because if you have toxins in your body, and by the way, we're exposed to 7,000 toxins on average each and every single day. So there's no way that you can, there's no way that you can avoid them. Even if you're doing all the right things at home and using all the best products, you're still going to be exposed to these toxins. And the problem is if your liver is congested with toxins, it isn't able to function properly. And what happens then is your metabolism slows down as a result. The bottom line is a fatty liver equals a sluggish liver equals a sluggish metabolism. Also, you're going to secrete less bile when you have a sluggish liver. And if you're doing that, your fat cells are actually going to enlarge. And this explains why we have problem areas on our body, like around our midsection or around our thighs or butts for women, because of this lack of secretion of bile. So we got to target our liver and cleanse it, but you do it naturally through food. And you don't starve yourself. You're never hungry on these cleanses.
Never hungry.
Never. Yeah. In fact, a lot of people say they feel really full. Things shouldn't taste bad. We make things taste good, except maybe our dinner smoothie. Some find it a little bit challenging, but it's because it's really, you liked it? You liked it?
I love my greens. I love my greens and my cilantro. Cilantro is a natural blood cleanser.
Yes.
Like, I got you, girl.
I love that you like the dinner one. So about 50% of our clients love it, but if you don't love it, we give you alternatives. Don't worry. But the point is not to ever hate the food that you're putting into your body. That's a wrong message right there. Like nourishing your body shouldn't be painful.
Just one more time, because that's going to be the quote that comes up in audiogram. Say it one more time.
Nourishing your body should never be painful.
Mic drop. Like we could end there. We're not going to end there. That was a power play, friend.
It's so true. And I can't tell you how many times I hear new clients say, I've struggled my entire life with diets and cleanses that taste terrible. I'm depriving myself. I feel deprived. I can't wait for this to end. Whereas, I check in with our clients mid, gut cleanse, and they're like, I'm loving all the soups and the salads is delicious. Can I do this after the gut detox? Can I keep using these same recipes? I hear that every single day. Can I continue using these same recipes? And the answer is yes. Nourishing your body should feel like this. Cleansing your body is actually something you should do every single day. There's ways to do it naturally and healthfully every single day, but we are going to be going into a deep cleanse for 13 days, liver cleanse followed by a gut detox. If your digestive system is congested again with toxins, you're going to have a very slow metabolism, very hard time losing weight, but also you're going to have a ton of health problems. You're going to have zero energy. Your sleep is going to be compromised. You're going to feel like you have brain fog all day long. And that's some of the best wins that I hear from our clients just after 3 days of cleansing.
Well, And I know we're talking about the 13-day detox, and that's going to get you started. But I will tell you, as a perimenopausal, almost menopausal woman, I'm just crossing my fingers, I'm almost there, that I wasn't able to be losing the weight. Like I started curbing back on my food and stuff. But the minute I started doing this, I think I lost, I'm going to say like 15 pounds in the 8 weeks. And like my body started transforming. And now that I'm continuing, it's even transforming even more, as you'll be able to tell by the pictures. So, and again, the support that you get that's behind there is some of the most incredible support that, you know, that I've ever seen in a Facebook group. So the 13 weeks, so there's that's going to be coming up. And then after that, then what comes after?
So 13 days of detox.
Oh, 13 days. Sorry, my bad.
13 days.
Thanks for the correction.
It'd be really hard to cleanse for 13 weeks.
13 days.
13 days. And then after that, we're going to move into, as an option for people who want to stay in our community, we'll be moving into our usual 8-week total body transformation program, our Fuel for Fat Loss program. And in that, we're going to learn about macros. And some people right now might be saying, oh, macros, I've heard of this. I've heard it's really good. Or some people are like, what is a macro? If you're like, what is a macro? This is what we dive into. But let me tell you, it is the stuff that will give you food freedom. This is the stuff that helps you look at a plate of food in a completely different way. There's like before macros and then after macros. Like once you learn it, you're just like, I see food in a completely different way. And you'll never feel stuck. You'll never feel stressed or stuck when you go to a friend's for dinner, out to a restaurant, or on a holiday. You know exactly what to eat, when and why. It breaks your food down for you in a really logical way. And helps you to ultimately balance your hormones, which balances your mood. It truly changes lives. Macros changes your lives. Also on top of that, we do a ton of meal prep. And I love, like, whenever I say meal prep and I look at you, I'm like, I have this picture. I think you have to post this picture somewhere too. It's like you balancing 13 Tupperwares and walking, and you're balancing them with your chin. It's the best photo of all time. Seriously, in 4.5 years, my favorite meal prep photo of all time. But you know, meal prep also gives you that food freedom and time freedom. I did the math last year. I saved 600 hours by doing meal prep.
Meal prep saves me every time. Like, you should see my freezer. It was getting down low and I was like, OMG, like I gotta start to meal prep, because I have like literally 15 smoothies in there. I have my frozen oats. So I just pull them out. Like, however, I have some firecracker chicken stuff in there. I have this lemongrass chicken that we just got the recipe for, which is to die for. It's one of my favorites. Such great flavor. You know, it's like those kinds of things. I have containers of quinoa that's already made. It just makes it easier for me. And people think that because I work from home, I have all this time. I'm really busy. Like really busy. And so sometimes when I have back-to-back clients, like tomorrow I'll have 8 back-to-back clients, and I go and I grab my smoothie, and I'm like literally drinking my smoothie in my session, being like, hey, I have to nourish my body. My blood sugar is going to drop. I want to, you know, so it just makes it so easy for me to continue to nurture and make sure I'm taking care of myself while I'm helping other people. So it definitely is something that if you have been struggling, if you're just like, I'm so done of being on the roller coaster of even my emotions, done feeling bad about myself, this is such a good way to start. And it is worth the investment in yourself. And it's not, I'll just say outright, it's not a lot of money for the results you get. If you want to change your life, then you need to select something that will help you change your life. And this will help you. Just like the work I do with clients changes the trajectory of their whole entire lives. And so to believe that you are worthy of this investment in yourself is the number one thing I want to tell you to believe in, because you can have what you want. You don't have to wait for what you want. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows about this. You're going to have all the links. I'm going to put all the links in YouTube description. They'll be in the podcast description. Is there anything else that I've missed? so
Well, there's
far?
something free coming up
Ooh,
this month. So April
okay.
26th and April 28th, we have a free masterclass. And in this masterclass, I'm going to be giving you all my tips, tools, and secrets to healthy cleansing. So whether you decide to join us May 9th for this 13-day detox challenge and going beyond with us as well, please come to the masterclass, because the masterclass, you're going to learn a ton and you're going to walk away feeling like you understand the nuances of cleansing, and you'll never buy a store-bought cleanse ever again. You'll never go on a juice cleanse ever again. And you'll do it the right way, and it'll set you up for some really big wins in terms of your health or in terms of your fat loss goals. And also, when you do sign up for that, you get my 1-day gut detox recipes for free. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So whether, and by the way, there will be a replay for the masterclass if you can't make it, but you will get my 1-day gut detox recipes that people absolutely love. And so again, like, you can detox every single day, cleanse every single day, a healthy way. And these recipes will show you some of the ingredients that are really helpful.
So make sure to look for that on my social media. You'll find it. Make sure to have all the links to that. And then really consider engaging and investing in yourself in this way so that you can be 100% yourself 100% of the time, and just live the way that you want to be living. I can't thank Simone so much for being here. How grateful I am that you decided to show up and become radically visible so that I could find you. And I know that so many other people are going to continue to benefit. Is there anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Oh my gosh. Well, honestly, it's just such an honor to be here, and like an honor to see you transform. Like, at the end of the day, my goal was always just to change one life. You know, I knew if I could just change one life, like that's huge. Someone's life other than my own, and like impact that me. Like, if I can do that. And so to hear how this program has helped you and empowered you is just amazing. You're doing all the things, like you're meal prepping, you're macro balancing, you're riding 50 miles on your bike. Miles, right? Not kilometers. Like, that's a whole nother level. I can't do that. I cannot do that. So like, I have, like, you inspire me, Rachel. So, you know, when you say thank you to me, like, I'm saying thank you to you right back, because truly, like, you are an inspiration to me and our coaches and our community as well. So it means a lot to have you in our community. So thank you.
Please make sure to stay true to yourself, be kind to others, and always, always, always honor the wise one that is within you. I will see you all on the next episode of Road to Radical Visibility. Talk to you then. Bye.